jug band. They were popular at the time. We started practicing that week and got a gig shortly thereafter. Off it went from there. Bob Matthews. It goes back to TV's The Beverly Hillbillies. In 1960, people were just transitioning out of being beatniks into what they didn't know until a few years later was being hippies. Folk music was a key issue. Everybody was buying guitars and getting guitar lessons. I heard Flatt and Scruggs playing the theme song to the Beverly Hillbillies and fell in love with that hard-as-nails banjo sound. There were lots of guitar teachers around. I was trying to find a banjo teacher. My mother, who was teaching first graders to read at a local progressive private school called Peninsula School, had a Stanford film undergraduate doing a documentary on her unique teaching, and when my mother articulated her difficulty in finding me a banjo teacher, Sarah Garcia turned around and said, "My husband teaches banjo." And that's how I met Jerry. Bob Weir and I were really into the jug bands. We liked Gus Cannon of Cannon's Jug Stompers, a black Memphis-based jug band in the late 20s, and Jim Kweskin. The Jim Kweskin jug band was playing at the Cabal in Berkeley. You had to be at least 18, if not 21, to get in. We snuck in, and we were up in the front row. Jeff Moldar had an incredible voice, and we were really digging on the band. And then this cute, Daisy May-looking creature, whose name was Maria D'Amato, came out and sang "I'm a Woman." Most of the males in the building were drooling. She was a gorgeous girl. She became Maria Moldar, of course. The next day, Bob and I cut class and hitchhiked into Palo Alto to Dana Morgan Music, where Jerry was teaching banjo. As we walked into his little cement cubicle, he was playing banjo, noodling, as he always did. I think I said, "We went to see the Kweskin Jug Band last night, and we're starting a jug band." Jerry looked up, then dropped a beat, and said, "Good, I'm in it. I know a great harp player, this guy named Pigpen." Bob Matthews. I got to be in Mother McCree's Uptown Jug Champions. First I was washboard player, and then I was kazoo player, then I was the second kazoo player. Bobby loved to hyperventilate himself blowing on the jug. He also played one-string washtub bass, went out and got a zinc washtub, a broomstick, and a piece of twine. That was what he did, and sang and looked pretty. Jerry was playing the banjo and guitar and leading the band. He was playing the five-string banjo. It's a different genre of music, but he was playing Jerry Garcia banjo. We were playing a tune, Washington at Valley Forge or something, and Jerry leaned over and said, "Hey, why don't you take a break?" What he meant was, take a solo. I thought he meant take a break, so I left the stage.
Robert Hunter. I was offered the position of jug player, but I didn't have the embouchure, so I dropped out and didn't pick up performing again for about 10 years.
Connie Bonner Mosley. I remember in high school, the hallways would clear when Pigpen walked down the hallways, with a woman on each arm maybe. I remember his last days at Palo Alto High School before he was expelled, and then running into him a few months later at the guitar store.
Bob Matthews. He was so mean-looking. He was the same age we were, barely 18, but we could run over to East Palo Alto to Maroney's liquor store, send him in with money, and he'd come out with whatever he asked for. Weir and I used to drink Green Death, Rainier Ale. We'd pay for Pig's Thunderbird, and he'd buy us 2 or 3 big bottles of Green Death. Clifford Tiff Garcia. Weir and Jerry were both working at the music store. Weir was giving lessons, Jerry was giving lessons and trying to repair instruments, but he wasn't very mechanically inclined. But anything to make ends meet. Jerry and Sarah had a baby on the way. I remember seeing Bob there and hearing him play and listening to him give lessons. He was just a kid, but he was pretty good. He was still going to school at the time. Jerry was older and out of school. Anyway, when I first heard Jerry had gotten together with Weir and Pigpen, I knew it would be a good nucleus for a group.
Jerry Garcia, 1964. I think there are about 4 major categories of music that we actually play, and we boil it down under the name of jug band music.